All right, folks, Sherman Ray. This is the Livin in Vegas podcast. Let's get this show on the road. Hey, and good morning, everybody. It's Sherman Ray, the Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, places, the trends, the events shape the city of Las Vegas. I want to welcome you all to the show today. We come to you, Monday through our Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Talk about the all kinds of cool stuff that's going on in the valley right now. I want to welcome all of our friends who are watching us on Facebook. Sorry if there's really a big lot of light on me here this morning. We'll try to correct that at some point during the show, but okay, all right. The truth is, I was screwing around with the camera yesterday. So we were trying to add a camera, and and then I screwed up something, and so I'm like really bright, and I'll try to get this done. I really will try to get this fixed. We've got to do this because it just looks really bright. I've got this big brightness on me, and part of it's from a light that's over here on the right, but part of it's just because it's just so doggone bright in here. Um, so I'm Sherman Ray. I'm your humble servant. I'm the publisher of Livin in Vegas magazine, which is out on the shelves right now. I just want to encourage everybody, really just encourage everybody, as we always do, to go to our website at livininvegas.com and check out our magazine. Okay, Livin in Vegas, and really I can't stand this filter. It's just too much for my face here. So I'm going to get rid of something here. Just 1 second here, folks. I have to do it. I just can't do it anymore. So I'm going to try to fix my camera here because it's just way too bright. So what I'm going to do, I know you can't see what I'm doing here, folks, but so I'm going to do it anyways while you're. I'm going to try to darken me up just a little bit. There we go. Maybe that'll help me out a little bit. I hope so. We'll find out in just a second, won't we? Okay, well it didn't. It didn't help at all. So I'm gonna do it one more time, and so what I'm doing behind the scenes here, folks, is I'm actually brightening and lightening and doing kinds of stuff on my face here just to try to make things a little bit more pleasant to look at, because sometimes you can just be it's just overpowering. Okay, I can't do it right now. I have to do it some other time. But you can do all kinds of stuff with cameras, and it looks as though I've just screwed the pooch on this one. And I'm looking on Facebook, so I want to welcome all the folks on Facebook that are watching us. It doesn't look really bad on Facebook, but on my screen over here, it looks terrible. And anyways, so you can go to our website for Livin in Vegas and check out our magazine. Let's put that back up there one more time, will we? Okay. And you can actually check out our magazine. And also Livin Weekly magazine. I'm going to talk Livin Weekly magazine. I want to apologize once again, folks. We've had just this hectic week, and truth be known, I'm partially on vacation this week. So the magazine that you should be seeing up on Livin Weekly magazine is not up there yet. Okay, so I hate to even put it up here right now, but you will see in the magazine, you will see a story coming up about Lake Mead and the water levels. It's our biggest story. It really is. It's the biggest story. It should be our biggest story. We're going to continue to focus on that. And I know people have been wondering. They're saying, "Hey, Sherm, you said you were going to put up a story about the Lake Mead water levels." And folks, to tell you the truth, everything I've said has just been confirmed over this week. It just has been. It's been very cool. I'm very excited about it. Because I have, and I'll tell you a little bit about it. I went out to the lake about 2 weeks ago. I was up at Lake Mojave. We dropped in over at Searchlight, went up north on the river, Colorado River, and ended up at Willow Beach. And all along this way, I had a conversation with two guys, very interesting guys. One was an architect who works on a lot of commercial projects here in Las Vegas. The other was is a water reclamation guy, which means he messes around with poop water. But those are his own words, so I'm not being being nasty or anything like that. Those are his words. He goes, I deal with poop. I had a conversation with them about the water level in Lake Mead. And that is what the article is about. It's about the behind the scenes look at the water level from a professional and what his outlook on the water level is in Las Vegas and why it is what it is. And also from the architect, we talked about buildings and the Green New Deal and the push for green and renewables and how those two marry each other and how people who live outside of Las Vegas could help us. Okay? And the thing about it is, we'll talk about it in a story here in just a second. I've been vindicated. Okay, so I'm gonna put it up here pretty quick, and you're gonna be able to see this story pretty quick. But before we do that, let's pay a bill or two, and we'll be back with more of the Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray, with your humble servant, publisher of Livin in Vegas magazine. Be right back. Hi, everybody. Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you've got to do is contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. That's advertising@livininvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. We're back, folks. This is Sherman Ray, Livin in Vegas podcast. We'll come to you Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And we talk about some of the most relevant issues that are facing Las Vegas. Let's get to one right now, because this is really pretty important. And it's been a story that we've been talking about for like the last couple of days. Many of you know over in Nye County, there's been in Pahrump, there was a couple that was arrested for having like 300 dogs in their kennel, and for many of us, it's the first time we ever heard about it. It was just the first time we ever heard about some guy housing dogs. It's not that housing dogs and being illegal and scandalous about your puppy practices, having a puppy mill, is anything new, but it's new to us. Well, evidently, this complaint about this guy travels back to 2010. 12 years they've been complaining about this guy. I think that's about it, right? Yeah. So as the story goes, the guy who owns the puppy mill, which is now closed, his name is Vasily Platunov. He received a permit to have about 30 dogs on the property back in 2010. Pretty quickly after that, the guy says, hey, guess what? We want to have more dogs on the property. And unfortunately, he already had more dogs on the property. And the neighbors and the county commissioners said, no, you're not gonna have any more dogs on this. But the guy already had more dogs on there. And so, and this is how people act sometimes. I'm going to adjust this just a little bit more. Is that they will do something illegal and then apologize later. Okay? Basically is what happened. And the guy had more dogs than he's supposed to have. He went from 3. So I guess what he wanted to do is he wanted to increase the number of dogs he had on the property from 30 to 130. He already had more than 30 dogs on the property when he filed this application in 2015. Neighbors were saying, hey, don't do this. He already had done it. Well, but when it's all said and done with, this guy had like over 300 dogs on this property. And when they finally close the guy down, I'm reading through the story here, that he and his wife, Oksana Higgins, were accused of keeping nearly 300 dogs in deplorable conditions at two properties in Nye County, one in Pahrump, the other one in Amargosa. And I just want to remind you, it's Amargosa, not Armagosa. Okay, there's no ARMAR. It's AMA, AMARGOSA, Amagosa. I know, because or Armagosa, but it's not Armagosa. In the Amargosa Valley. So, and they had, so now they're going to be up in front of a Nye County District Court, and they are facing 30 felony cases for abusing animals. And that's just kind of sad. It's hot. It's just not right. There's a bunch of German Shepherds out there which have long hair, anyways. Okay, it's just tough on these poor animals, man. In unrelated news, but it's related to the first story I was telling you about. Let's talk about Lake Mead again. Okay, this is where we're going to spend a little bit of time on again, because once again, I love being right, and you know I love being right. I love the Las Vegas Aces, and I love being right. So there it is. You found me out. I'm a very shallow person, but that's the way it is. So Lake Mead continuing to rise. What? Yes, clap. Yay! We've been going through this. So it's gone up, 3 feet? Is that right? In the last 3.3 feet. Since it's been the last week or so, 2 weeks. So since the monsoon season started, we've gone up 3.3 feet. That's pretty cool. Now, it's funny. When the lake was going down every day, hammer, 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 the lake's going down, lake's going down, lake's going down, okay? Bodies, 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 that kind of stuff. Boats, boats, boats. The litany of negative news just keeps flying out about Las Vegas and about Lake Mead and about our water consumption and everything else. But when the lake is going up, beep, church mice. Nothing. You really hear nothing about it. You don't see any radar or satellite photography looking down at the lake coming back up. No, you don't see any of that stuff. So you have to come to our humble broadcast to hear about the lake level going up. And I told you about this because the reason why they're saying the lake level is going up is two things. Okay, so can you guess what? So here, let's pay a bill here real quick, and then we'll be back, and I'll tell you why the lake level is going up. Okay, so we'll be back in just a second, folks. Hi, everybody. Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. Are you a business owner that's looking to get the word out about his product, service, or even just a great message out there? Well, we'd like to give you that opportunity by being a guest on Livin in Vegas podcast. It's super simple. All you've got to do is contact us at advertising@livininvegas.com. That's advertising@livininvegas.com, and we'll schedule you for an interview on Livin in Vegas podcast. I'm Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast, where we talk about the people, the places, the trends, and the events that shape the city of Las Vegas. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. All right, folks, we are back. I'm Sherman Ray, publisher of Livin in Vegas magazine. And so in our last segment, we were just talking about, I'm gonna tell you guys, I won't waste much more of your time here, that the level of water in Lake Mead is going up. And there's two reasons why this, and it really relates to a story that we're publishing, that we were supposed to have published Friday. It's supposed to have been out already, but I've been so busy, on Livin Weekly magazine about the lake level, and a conversation I had with a water poo technologist and an architect, because we had the same conversation. All right, so one of the reasons why is pretty obvious. We've had monsoonal rains. Okay, we've had monsoonal rains, and we've had our share of it. So many of you know we get our water from the Colorado River. And when the monsoon season came in, that water just came flying and flooding. And one time we had 3 inches in like an hour type thing. So we had, epic rain. Considering we've had a drought for like 20 years, it was well needed. We loved it. Okay, and so we get our water from the Colorado, as I said, but it has to come from the Rocky Mountains or the Sierras. Okay, it's got rain or snow in the Rocky Mountains have to actually be the place where it starts, and then it comes down to Colorado. So, and the number two reason why, can you guess? Number two reason why, okay, water comes in, and what does it have to do? That's right, it goes out. If people downstream from us are not using as much water, guess what? They are not requiring as much water to be let out of Lake Mead. So, the second reason why, according to this article, and I confirm it because it's a conversation I had with a couple of people who are pretty smart guys, is that downstream from us, Mexico, Arizona, New Mexico, California, are using less water. They're being a little bit more smart about it. We in Las Vegas, and you've heard this if you've been listening to this broadcast any length of time, you've already heard that Las Vegas, okay, we were allocated a certain amount of water back in the 30s to feed our valley. We have none of that. That percentage has never changed until just recently, actually, just about 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, when they gave us less. We've got 2 million more people, but they're giving us less water to use. We have never gone over that allotment of water. As a matter of fact, we've been well within our allotment of water because we're really good about using our water. We are the poster child for water conservation. And it's because the guy I was talking to, the poo guy, the water reclamation guy, and he told me, he goes, man, we've got patents on stuff, new patents on new stuff that we've done. We're able to clean the water. We're able to get more water back into the system. We're just, we're patent, and they just patting ourselves on the back. Yay, patent, patent, patent. So it's not a patent, patting ourselves. Some of you are getting this. Okay. Patting themselves on the back, the technology we're using to reclaim water. So we're at almost 100% reclamation of the water that we use. So, and I won't spoil. You have to read the article to get the rest of this. But two reasons why we are getting more water in Lake Mead, which is a great sign. One, upstream, monsoonal rains. Okay, and hopefully this winter we'll get a huge snowpack, and it'll just be even more. And number two, on the other end, California, New Mexico, Arizona, Mexico are using less water. They're being a little bit wiser about their water usage, okay? Which means Lake Mead does not have to release as much water as it normally would to downstream. So that's cool. And that's why we're losing so much water, is because we keep having to release more water for those suckers down there. Okay. I had to put that in. Okay. And you can read more about that article coming up in Livin Weekly magazine. I'm going to really try to get this out. But I'm on vacation right now. I really am. So as a matter of fact, I'll tell you right now. My wife and I, we're getting out of town for just today. We're heading out to Boulder City because that's our getaway. And so we're going to head out of town for just, the day, just relax a little bit, go hang out at Sherman's Antique Bar. We'll go over to a few other places that we just love to go to, just get away from town. And so we're going to head out for just a little bit. But we'll be back. We'll be back for Friday's show. Don't worry about it. We'll be back, so don't worry about it. Let's get to another story. How much time do I have left? Oh, plenty of time. Over in North Las Vegas, this is a very interesting story that many of you have heard about what a vertical farm is. Okay, a vertical farm is basically, so what normally farms are. Farms are normally horizontal. Okay, flat land, as far as the eye can see. A vertical farm, vertical, it's up and down. Okay, it could be on a wall. It could be in flat pallets, but they're going up in the air as opposed to going flat and just continuing to go horizontal. And so it looks like they're going to do a vertical farm and co-op market, and they're imagining it over at James Gay Park in North Vegas. And so this should be very, very interesting. Las Vegas City Councilman. Oh, they spelled the word wrong here in this article. Las Vegas City Councilman Cedric Creer says he knew that the park, which James Gay Park, has been closed since like 2013. The reason why? Got a lot of homeless people that have just been hanging out there, and people are afraid. I mean, they're just afraid. So they're going to have to. So they figure what they'll do is they'll put the vertical farm in that park, and so I got a couple of things to say about this. Kudos to Cedric Creer and the folks who want to do this vertical park or vertical farm. So I want to pat him on the back and just say, hey, great job. You're thinking about doing something else. But the problem is you're putting it in the wrong place. I just think you need to find a place to do a park or a farm. Not take a park that the city, that the people in the community need, and turn it into something that it shouldn't be. Okay, because you're going to find that the homeless people and the people you don't want to be down in that park are going to now be at the vertical farm. Okay, so that's just my take on. But other than that, I think it's a great idea. I really do. They want to grow fresh veggies and stuff like that for the community, which is awesome. But I just think it's just in the wrong place. Okay, so that's just me. What else? Oh, let's switch to sports here really quick. That Asia Wilson. Many of you know who Asia is. Asia Wilson is our quasi forward center for the Las Vegas Aces, who we all love. We just want to kiss her right on the face. Kiss her right in the face. The reason why I say she's a forward center is because she's really not a center. She's just very good at what she does. And this is a versatile player because she became the WNBA, the 2022 WNBA Defensive Player of the Year. Huh? That's pretty cool. And how did she do it? She got 20 out of 56 votes from the committee that looks at all this stuff. And she's not even a center. She got most block shots. She got the most steals. She got the most assists. She got, it's the litany of stuff that she did as a player who's not a center is pretty amazing. The most rebounds. And she did a fantastic job. There's no doubt about it. She's only in her 5th season. She averaged 1.9 block shots a game. She ranked 2nd in defensive rebounds per game, 12th in steals, 10 defensive rebounds in a game 9 times. Come on, really? Oh, Asia. They ought to sing a song about her. Asia, a Jamaican song. Asia. Okay, I know I'm being silly. What else did she do? So she ranked 1st in the WNBA in defensive rebounds per game, 28.4. Wow, and defensive rebounds percentage. Okay, these are all percentages. 74.5% and 5th in steals. Man, Asia. And she also helped the Las Vegas Aces hold opponents to 31.8 points per game in points scored in the paint. Man, she's just great. She's so great. And then they play tonight. So they play tonight, which should be a great game. Looking really forward to watching them play. I've been waiting for them because they played Sunday, which they lost game 1 to the Seattle Storm. But they're playing again pretty quick here, so I'm very excited about this, that she's going to be playing. Also in sports news, the Raiders have gotten down to 54 players. And so there's a list. 53 men. I thought it was 54. So they're down to 53 men on the Raiders. And as a result of the Raiders getting down there, some people got the axe. And that's, it's a shame that some of people got the axe, but that's kind of the game. One of them was a guy named Alex Leatherwood. And so here's the story on Alex. So Alex, they've been talking about like the last couple of days, and they said, "Hey, is this guy going to make it? Is he going to make it?" And the reason why, he was a number one draft pick, right? What does that mean? Number one draft pick means you're the bad boy. There's, oh my gosh, they've. I think they showed that the Raiders took 4 or 5 people over their, over the last few decades. Number one, and there's only and 5 of those guys they said, "See you later." Alex Leatherwood was one of them. He's a guard tackle, and just did not produce. Just they said, "Hey, look, dude, we love you, but we'll probably find somebody else." And because that they had to pay money to get the guy, so they're it's all right. He'll be all right. Other people on the list, and we'll post this list and this article, everything we talk about. We'll put it on our website at livininvegas.com. That's livininvegas.com. But you can actually check out people that you that maybe they were your people that you thought should be on the team, and they just didn't make it. One guy's name is Quinterio Cole. Q-Win. I know. Some moms. Quinterio Cole. And he was a safety. He's gone to. So we'll actually put this list on our website, and you can check it out. It's going to take a little while here this morning to get this up because we just got so much we're doing here, but that's it. I guess can we do one more story? Okay, let's do one more story. Do we want to do a feel-good story or not? Yeah, we'll do a feel-good story. Okay, so this is a great thing for the city. Many of you know Tick Segerbloom is the pot king. He's a county commissioner, and he's the one who you can thank for bringing recreational pot use to Las Vegas. So every time you go down the street and you smell that wafting whiff of somebody smoking a joint as they're driving by, I know. You could thank Tick Segerbloom because he's the one who fought for it so bad. Well, now they are considering regulations around cannabis lounges or pot lounges, or we used to call them dope houses, where people can sit around and smoke dope and then hopefully not get in their cars and do something stupid. So I know I sound so pessimistic. I'm so sorry. I can't help it. I will tell you the truth, folks. When I was a teenager, I did a lot of things, okay, that I would never do as an adult. And I will never tell you, you cannot do anything you want. You do whatever you heck you want. Okay, do whatever you want. This is America. This is Vegas. You do whatever you want. So they are considering regulations around cannabis lounges. And they said, look, and a couple of county commissioners, Tick Segerbloom included, and Michael Naft, and who else was signed this legislation? Justin Jones. They all joined in and said, look, we will not okay these cannabis lounges unless you put some kind of regulation that says that they will educate the people who are going in there about not driving after they've been getting wasted in these pot lounges. Okay, bravo. I just think it's bravo. It's just like any other place. The only difference is, and I need to complete that thought. Just like if you go to a bar, generally the bartender will go, "Hey, you probably just want to don't drink so much, and if you do, let me have those keys," and they take your keys, because they don't want you driving down the street. Well, cannabis lounges or these consumption lounges are now they're considering having them be liable if somebody should leave their consumption lounge and get in a car wreck, which is big. It's big. So it's going to make people think a little bit more about their liability and their, whether or not they should consider. It needs to be a consideration. Anyways, we're out of here, folks. I'm heading out of town here in just a couple hours, so we'll try to get everything up on our website. at livininvegas.com, where you can check out the articles, videos, free links to downloads, that kind of stuff. So it's very cool. So go to livininvegas.com. That's Livin with no G, livininvegas.com. You can check that out all out. You can also, if you'd like to just get this podcast, you can go to Spotify, and it's on there. Just once again, just called the Livin in Vegas podcast, with hosted by me, Sherman Ray. And you can actually download that, take that with you. And I want to thank all the folks who just, and recently I just had 3 or 4 people say, hey, Sherman, we found out that you're doing a podcast, and they really loved it. So thank you. Thank you so much for appreciating what we do. We want to encourage you to share this with all your friends. Share it from YouTube or your Facebook page. Share it everywhere. Freely distribute it. Okay, so that people can love us. Okay. Anyways, go to our website, folks, and you will see a lot more of this stuff. We will see you again Friday, where we'll talk about the people, the places, the trending events that shape the city of Las Vegas. When you think of living in Vegas, think living local and the return of cool. This has been Sherman Ray for Livin in Vegas podcast. We'll see you again Friday. Bye-bye.